A bold prediction involving the Los Angeles Lakers and Nikola Jokic has sparked plenty of discussion around the NBA. The scenario suggests that Los Angeles could eventually consider moving on from Austin Reaves if an opportunity to pursue the three-time MVP and NBA champion becomes realistic. The Los Angeles Lakers are doing everything they can to make the right moves for the future while keeping Luka Doncic happy. It has been quite the journey since the Lakers traded for Doncic 2 years ago. The Lakers have been disappointed by their last 2 playoff appearances, increasing the pressure on the organization to continue improving the roster around its superstar. This free agency cycle, they were able to re-sign Austin Reaves to a significant contract, keeping an important piece of their backcourt alongside Doncic. Reaves, who originally agreed to a 4-year, $185 million extension with a player option on the final season, ended up inking a 4-year, $180 million deal, league sources confirmed to ESPN. Reaves' decision, sources told ESPN, will give the Lakers more financial flexibility moving forward. ESPN's Dave McMenamin wrote, "Doncic and Reaves have formed an excellent duo in the backcourt. Their offensive chemistry gives the Lakers another important scoring and playmaking combination, while Doncic remains the clear centerpiece of the franchise. At the same time, Doncic has made it clear that he wants to win ever since arriving in Los Angeles. That desire could influence how aggressively the Lakers approach roster construction in the coming seasons. Doncic being just 26 gives the Lakers a far longer timeline to build a championship contending team, but that doesn't mean they can slow down and take their time." Doncic told Lakers president Rob Pelinka and coach JJ Redick in May that he's not interested in taking the slow approach in building a contender. CBS Sports' Jasmine Wimbish wrote, "That creates an interesting situation for Los Angeles. The Lakers have a young superstar in Doncic, an established scorer and playmaker in Reaves, and a coaching staff that can build an offense around elite ball movement and shot creation. But if a generational player such as Nikola Jokic were ever to become available, the Lakers would almost certainly have to evaluate what such an opportunity could mean for the franchise. The future is setting up nicely for Doncic, and the Lakers are clearly building around him as their franchise centerpiece. Next summer could therefore become a major turning point for Los Angeles, particularly if unexpected opportunities emerge in free agency." That is where Lake Show Life's Tyler Watts has offered an intriguing prediction. Watts believes the Lakers could potentially be willing to move on from Reaves if doing so helped create an opportunity to pursue Denver Nuggets superstar Nikola Jokic. Jokic can become an unrestricted free agent next summer if he declines his player option. The 3-time MVP is refusing to sign an extension. He says he wants to be a Nugget for life, but the franchise has to be worried. They've won just 2 playoff series in the last 3 years. Jokic wants to win and is good friends with Luka Doncic. The Lakers would dump Austin Reaves in an instant to sign the Joker, Watts wrote. It is important to emphasize what this means. This is a prediction, an hypothetical scenario, not confirmation that the Lakers are planning to release, trade, or otherwise move on from Reaves, nor is it confirmation that Jokic is going to join Los Angeles. Jokic has repeatedly been associated with the Nuggets and has expressed his connection to the organization, so any potential move to another team would be a massive development. For the Lakers, however, simply having the possibility of pursuing a player of his caliber would be difficult to ignore. If the Lakers could somehow lure Jokic away from the Nuggets in free agency, it would be a game-changing move for the organization. Reaves would potentially become part of the difficult roster and financial decisions required to make such a move possible, but Los Angeles could potentially form one of the most dominant offensive duos in the NBA with Doncic and Jokic. The basketball fit would be fascinating. Doncic is one of the league's most creative offensive engines, capable of controlling the game with his scoring, passing, rebounding, and ability to manipulate defenses. Jokic brings many of those same qualities from the center position, giving him the ability to score inside and outside, operate from the post, find cutters and shooters, and serve as an elite facilitator. The two superstars would be able to see the entire court, create for themselves, and facilitate for their teammates at an elite level. Defenses would face an unusual challenge because both players can function as primary offensive creators. That could also give Lakers head coach J.J. Redick an extraordinary offensive puzzle to work with. Redick could potentially design sets that allow Doncic and Jokic to alternate between primary and secondary playmaking roles. Instead of relying on one player to create almost every possession, the Lakers could have two elite decision-makers constantly putting pressure on opposing defenses. A Doncic-Jokic combination would also create interesting possibilities in pick-and-roll situations, post actions, handoffs, and spacing. Jokic's passing ability could make it especially difficult for defenses to double-team Doncic without leaving another scoring opportunity available. Of course, getting from speculation to reality would be a completely different challenge. The Lakers would have to consider salary cap mechanics, roster construction, contract decisions, and what Denver ultimately wants to do with its franchise centerpiece. There would also be competition from other teams if Jokic ever became available. That is why this should be viewed as an intriguing long-term possibility, rather than a prediction that the Lakers are definitely going to make the move. For now, Austin Reaves remains an important part of the Lakers' plans, and Luka Doncic remains the foundation of the franchise's future. But if Nikola Jokic ever reaches free agency and genuinely becomes available, the Lakers would likely have to examine every possible avenue to determine whether a superstar pairing with Doncic could become a reality. And that is what makes this prediction so interesting. It is not simply about replacing one player with another. It is about asking whether the Lakers could eventually construct a roster around Doncic that gives them two of the NBA's most complete offensive playmakers on the same team. For a franchise with championship ambitions, that hypothetical alone is enough to generate significant discussion around Los Angeles and the rest of the NBA.